What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ review, and wow, last night's Survivor. It was as much of a roller coaster ride as you can possibly imagine, and not always good. So, we had to deal with the whole, I call it Wokevivor. This is the wokest season of Survivor ever. It's Wokevivor. And I think a lot of it stemmed from Kelly. I'm going to be interested to see where this goes now that Kelly's been voted out. But let's just get it out of the way and talk about the whole Kelly, Dan, girls, Dan, Janet issue. I think that Kelly was genuinely uncomfortable with Dan touching her. And that's okay. If she's uncomfortable with it, she's uncomfortable with it, and he should not be allowed to touch her. That's the way that we should operate in a civilized society. If you're not comfortable with it, then you should be able to say something, and the person who is violating your comfort needs to stop. Period. End of story. What I think happened here was, I think that Kelly was uncomfortable, and I think a lot of the girls tried to placate her. They tried to go along with her. Oh yeah, I felt uncomfortable too. And I think that exploded. I think that blew up, partially because of Janet. Janet wanted to Janet's credit, she wanted to do something nice. She felt like she was looking out for these younger girls, and it blew up. And when it became real, all the other girls were like, never mind. I honestly think that's what it was. I don't think that any of the other girls had a problem with Dan. Literally not one of them. Just Kelly. And they were all placating her. They were all validating her. And I'm not downplaying how Kelly felt. If she felt bad, if she felt violated, if she felt uncomfortable, that's how she felt. And I'm not saying that Dan is completely without blame here. If he kept on touching her, that was wrong. What I am saying is I think that it got blown out of proportions because of the way the other girls were reacting to Kelly, and then the way that Janet got involved trying to just get rid of this guy to make everybody feel comfortable, even though everybody already was comfortable except for Kelly. I think that this whole situation with the producers getting involved, I think that they seized a storyline. I think that they saw a storyline, a story that they could push, and it's going to be a story that's going to be to Dan's detriment. You've got somebody here who may not be completely innocent, but is not a monster. This is a dude that clearly isn't a monster. Clearly, all the other girls like him, except for Kelly. And I just think that this is something that's going to affect him outside of Survivor now. I think this is going to be a bad thing for his life. And it's one reason why when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, yeah, sign me up. But now I'm like, I don't need that in my life. I don't need somebody being able to tell a story that paints me in a negative light. Because what I saw was a man who might have messed up as far as Kelly was concerned, but was not a monster. Was not a woman groping beast. I don't think he was that. And none of the evidence suggests that. None of it. Not even the evidence with Kelly. The evidence with Kelly was maybe that he wasn't sensitive to what she wanted, and that was wrong. But he's clearly not a woman groping monster because none of the other women had problems with it. And I had a problem with the way it all went down. I had a problem with the way, and Missy is my pick to win it. I want Missy to win. She was my pick from day one. But I have a problem with the way that Missy and some of the other girls went about it. Placating, appeasing. going along with Kelly, I don't know. Kelly really rubbed me the wrong way, and Jamal hasn't helped. Jamal's just been feeding that PC fire. There's nothing wrong with PC, guys. There's nothing wrong with PC until there's something wrong with PC. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it. Like I'm perfectly fine with political correctness. I'm perfectly fine with understanding how to treat other people. But I'm not into the cancel culture. I think cancel culture I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. All right. Cancel culture is ridiculous. And if you're a part of it, then you're a part of a problem. And I think that's what Jamal's into. I think that's what Kelly's into, is a little bit of cancel culture. And that's too bad. It's too bad. So overall, I didn't like the way that whole thing went down. And it's kind of turned me off from Survivor a little bit this season. Like, I'm just not that interested anymore. This whole woke vibe that they've been having this season, primarily because of Jamal and Kelly. This whole woke vibe is just, I can get that in other places in my life. I go to Survivor for escapism, and I realize Survivor is a microcosm of society. Survivor is supposed to represent what's going on in society. It's also escapism. It's also entertainment. And if I want this bull crap, I can go somewhere else and get it. It doesn't need to infiltrate the things that I love. And genuinely, I don't want this bull crap. I don't want to be a part of, I don't want to watch a girl get groped and not feel comfortable with it. I don't want to watch a guy have his life destroyed in front of millions of people because an army of girls blamed him on something that maybe he didn't do. I'm just not interested. So, yeah, I was glad Kelly got voted out. I was really glad. Get her out of there. And then Jamal got voted out. And I think they were the problems. Hopefully, we can get to a point now where we're back to Survivor. And we can get rid of all this cancel culture nonsense. We can get rid of all this woke nonsense and just get back to the game. Because I really feel like the whole Wokevivor thing was being driven by them, Kelly and Jamal. And there's places for that, guys. There's places for that. I always say dialogue, messages, political messages, social messages, all that, it has a place in our society. And it has a place in our media. This just felt forced. I mean, the whole do-rag thing with Jamal and what is it, Jack, right? Jamal and Jack. It felt forced. It felt out of place. It felt unneeded. Like, that was a story they didn't have to tell. Survivor could have just not told that story. And putting it in there just felt forced, especially given the fact of how ridiculous it is on the surface. And then this whole thing, it just, yeah, it's something they've been building to for a couple episodes, but then it just felt icky. It just felt icky on both sides. If Kelly truly felt violated, that feels icky to me. And Dan could be having his life destroyed right now. And that is definitely icky because I do not think that he's a bad person. There's nothing that I've seen that convinces me that he's a bad person. So the whole thing just felt icky and it turned me off. It turned me off from Survivor. So I'll be back next week to watch it. And I hope that they're back to Survivor business as usual because this has been bad. This has been bad. And I haven't enjoyed it at all. So I don't know. Maybe you guys think I'm completely off base. Maybe you think that, Dan is a monster and he must be kicked out of the game. Rawr. Maybe you're on the other side of it. And maybe you think Kelly should have known what she was signing up for. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this whole season of Survivor so far. It's just felt icky to me. And I haven't I've liked some of the gameplay. Like last week I was jazzed about the gameplay. Jazzed about it. And then this week I'm not interested. That's how quickly it can turn around for you. That's how quickly it can turn around for me anyways. This week I'm just like, eh. Maybe I'll watch next week maybe. I'll watch. But there's no guarantee I'm going to finish a season if it keeps going like this. It's just left a bad taste in my mouth. So let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. And I'd love to, this is something that's going to be divisive. And I may or may not have the correct outlook on it. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm still, I try to grow as a person. So maybe I don't have the correct outlook on it. And maybe one of you can convince me otherwise. But it's going to take some convincing because I feel pretty icky about all this. But yeah, let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. This whole episode tonight, this whole Wokevivor, the whole groping incident, whatever you want to call it. Let me know what you think about it. And thank you for being here at the Oki Review, where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about, even when it feels a little icky. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Every single day